Rahman, you're looking good, Rahman.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay. Second. Rahman, is that what you wear on Shabbos nowadays? Can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted. Yeah. Okay. Mishna, Nun Aleph on the base. Yeah. So the Mishnah, now continuing along what the different lashonos are for neder. Yeah. So hanoidim and acholav. Somebody makes a neder from cholav mutter bekum. He's mutter with the kum is the way. WHEY. Right? That I know if whatever I say, Racham is going to say that that's not correct. But basically, when you let the milk sit and it separates, so then there's it turns like there's a solid and then there's a liquid. So that there's like a white looking thing and then there's more of a watery looking thing. The watery looking thing is whey. Now, if it wasn't on a Friday, we could spend a half hour talking about the halachic differences between whey and milk, and when they put it into the ingredients, is it OUD? Is it not OUD? When they change it and they do all that chazarai, but unfortunately it's Friday. I mean, it's fortunately it's Friday, but yeah, so we can't spend time on it. But there's a lot of halachic issues whether whey is considered part of milk. Either way, no pun intended. So it says that if you make a neder that you're not going to eat, if you make a neder that you're not going to eat milk, so then you are allowed to eat whey. Rabbi Yossi disagrees and he says you're not allowed to. Min hakoim, if you make a neder that you're not going to eat whey, you're allowed to have milk. Yeah, so that's the machlokes. Let's say you make a neder from gvina, and as we know, there's many different types of cheeses. Assur ba bein melucha tefela. It's assur in cheeses, whether it's salty cheese or whether it's bland cheese. Any types of cheese are included. Now this is already the department of everybody else here. You make a neder from basar onto today's daf. Mutter, if it wasn't Friday, we would try and do some of this round too. But it says mutter b'roitiv u'b'kippah. So if you make a neder from meat, you're allowed to eat the juice and what do you call it? Kippah is how do you take the remnants of the meat on the bottom?
Shreds. Jacob says shreds.
Shreds, meaning like what do you call that meat now they sell? The cheapo meat, but people like it.
Pulled beef.
Yeah. Pulled beef.
Best part.
I don't like it. I thought it was with the shop.
If you make a neder against meat, so you could eat the beyond meat.
I see. That's a good question. When you make a neder against meat, then can you eat fake meat? So then that's l'chayra going to be talian. What's the das of people when they say meat? No. No.
I would say no. It's not totally in the das.
What do you mean?
Up to now, we're saying everything is up to the Lashon Day Adam. That's got to do with das.
But that's not meat. It's not meat.
Correct, but the question is, would somebody think that
pulled beef is way more meat than that stuff is. That stuff is not meat.
I don't understand. You can eat that stuff during the 9 days, but if someone says a neder for meat, then you think it would fall in?
What do you mean?
You can have the fake meat during the 9 days.
It's not meat.
No?
It's not
meat.
It's
not meat.
Right, but the question is, what's included? What's included?
Right, I'm saying it doesn't make you fleshik. You can have it during the 9 days. Why would it be included if you make a neder on meat? It's not meat.
No, again, but it's going to be told. There's a shayla from Shom Zamarav. I heard on one of the Daf Yomi guys yesterday. one of the Daf Yomi Nedarim. He brought the Shalom Shom Zaman. When you, it's negayah to Hanukkah. If you make a neder against chocolate, what's included in chocolate? Is that part of? Is that milk chocolate? Is it part of chocolate? What happens?
Is that cookies cake?
That's chocolate. So that's all chocolate.
It's
Not,
totally
yeah, but that's not
Yeah,
the
but
same
that's
as
chocolate.
Beyond Meat. Beyond
This
Meat
is not meat. It's not meat. Why should
right?
it be?
Okay, so that's what the Olam's saying. But it could be
Yeah.
that when you get to the point that people are eating Beyond Meat because I don't know, they just. I mean, if once it's meat, right now I agree with you 100%. But maybe when it becomes more mainstream, then maybe it'd be different.
White chocolate would go into that too. White chocolate's not chocolate.
Right. So right, exactly. What about sugar-free chocolate? All this stuff, all that stuff, is that included? Is it not included? Either way. So I don't know what
white chocolate is not chocolate.
White chocolate has no cocoa solids, just cocoa butter.
Oh, but that's still coming from the same thing, isn't it? Same
Yeah,
bean.
not
You
everything.
said
that comes
if
from
you
the
know
cocoa
from
pod
a
is called
cocoa
chocolate.
bean, then I can hear it.
No, again, it's going to be
Cocoa
these
bean, yeah.
shilas. These are all shilas based on what do people consider? What do people consider chocolate? If they consider white chocolate, so then the neder goes on the white chocolate. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Right?
Until now, I didn't know the difference. I would have made a neder against chocolate. It would have been white chocolate also. Now that
I think
know
everybody would
there's a
include white
chilek,
chocolate.
You know,
I think everybody would include white chocolate into a neder of chocolate.
Not anymore.
Why? Because it's made a little differently. It's still white chocolate, and 99% of the world doesn't know what Gershon just said.
What's okay?
Right.
But
Most of white
that's
chocolate
why it
isn't
depends on
even
what people
considered
say.
chocolate. Most of
That's what I'm
a
saying,
real
but
chocolate person doesn't
most
consider
people
put
most
any
white
white
chocolate
part of
chocolate.
chocolate.
Yeah, here, what you
I am
saying,
not,
Aaron?
but I met one.
I don't know if Gershon puts any chocolate, white or dark, into the cocoa, man.
Maybe we'll find out next week.
Right.
But what about?
Yaakov, I bought a beer yesterday that had cocoa in it. Cocoa powder. Doesn't taste like chocolate. Doesn't do. Yeah, it's a mint chocolate beer.
Interesting.
Again, that's not called. Oh, you called it chocolate beer?
Well, okay, I don't know.
Peppermint mocha beer.
Wait, if someone makes a neder of beer, is that included?
L'chayra. How about white wine, red wine? The Gemara wasn't mechal. The previous Mishna, was it the previous Mishna? Coming up Mishna? I don't even remember. It's one of the Mishnayos here said wine. It wasn't mechalik. It wasn't mechal between red wine and white wine. It was mechal between this Mishnah. This Mishnah. Okay,
3 lines.
That's a cinnamon of Shemayim that we got to go weiter. Okay. Anyway, but either way, pulled beef is not kifa. I don't think pulled beef is too much meat. It's got to be the bottom. The bottom where the part that I like the bottom of the cholent. Right.
It's the best part.
Yaakov, the pieces
best
that go
part,
into,
but
you
it's
go
really
into the
not
butcher and you ask him to give you the ends. The stuff that falls
It's
down.
not. It's not. There's no serious meat in it. It's the tiny little pieces that fall off into the gravy.
You are over here.
So the roitiv and the kippah really go together. The roitiv is the gravy, the liquid part, and the kippah is the little tiny bits that are in the gravy.
How is that any less basar than basar?
Doesn't have chashivas of basar. The chashivas of basar is a shtik fleisch.
That's the only parts I ever get. That's the.
Well, even to make you fleshigs, Meikar Adin, the Mechaber holds the kippah doesn't make you fleshig.
I don't know what
Right.
kippah is.
No, sir.
You sure it's not
It's gonna
psha?
make. It's gonna no. And a chanami. If the ends meat people wouldn't eat, so then you're right. Then l'chayra wouldn't be called meat. I would think. Either way, okay. Let's see. Rabbi Yehudah assur, but Rabbi Yehudah disagrees, and he says it's assur. Right, fine. Amar Rabbi Yehudah on the second line down. Ma'aser v'assur. Ma'aser v'assur.
The baits and shniz
Rachmim,
you got
I muted him. So ma'aser v'assur aleinu Reb Tarfon bebeitzim shenis bashul imoy. There's a ma'aser where Reb Tarfon not only did he assur the meat, but if they put an egg in the cholent, he didn't let. Assuming it's a meat cholent, they allowed you to have meat He did not allow you to even eat the egg, which means he said that the tam of the meat is even assur. So I'm like, Kain Hadover. So they told him, Kain Hadover. Yes, it's true. He said this, but Amosai is Manshi Yomer Basar Ze Alai. That's only when he said the meat is assur onto meat. Basically, it's something that he made a neder on, and it got mixed in with something else. So then, im yesh benois and tam assur. If it has tam, then it's assur, right? Okay, so 1 second. So basically, what he's saying is that when you made a neder on a specific piece of meat, now it's assur for you to eat that meat. When you stick that meat into a cholent, that cholent has assur in it for you. It's no different than taking chazer and putting it into your cholent, right? So if you cook a chazer cholent and then you take an egg and put it into the cholent, so of course it's going to be assur, right? So that's basically what Rav Tarfon is saying. When you assur a piece of meat onto yourself, so then therefore it's going to be b'nois and tam. It's going to be assur. Somebody makes a neder from yayin, but yayin, you're allowed to eat cooked food that has wine in it. This comes up during the 9 days. Can you put wine into a recipe even though you don't taste it? Right?
It has a tam yayin. It says tam yayin.
Correct. Well,
right. So that means the yayin's gone itself.
Well, if you taste it, so then you're actually tasting the wine. Then that's bother in this. We're talking about you're eating the rest of the food and right? Maybe the rest of the food is maybe the rest of the food has a mixture. Okay, we'll get back to that. Omar konam yayin zeh she'ani to'em. But if he says I'm making a neder on this wine that I'm not going to taste it, but nofel l'tavshel, then the wine falls into a cooked food. So then it depends. Im yesh b'nois and tam. If there's nois and tam, hareza assur. Meaning if it puts tam, it's assur. If it doesn't put tam, it's mutter. Now, we can't cheat. I don't want to call it cheating.
Didn't you just say that you could eat a cooked food with the tam?
What?
It looks like a steer.
You can eat the cooked food.
What do you mean you eat the cooked food?
If you have if you made an assur and yayin, we just read a line. If you have make it assur and yayin, you put it.
You're talking about the meat?
No,
the yayin.
Mishna made a difference. The Mishna differentiated between meat in general or wine in general, and this meat or this wine. If you said this meat or this wine and he put it into a pot, it's assur b'nois and tam. If you say meat in general, he only means meat, the meat itself.
And he said this wine, and then that wine fell into the top, so then you can't have a tasi. Okay, I missed that part. Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Now I'm saying we can't be cheating if we don't discuss what this massive run is about, right? This is another major run, and basically let's run through it. Okay, let's run through it. Basically, what the ran's bothered by is, which we had this kasha a couple of days ago. We said a neder is a davar sheyesh matirin, right? Rabbanan, you didn't like it that a neder is a davar sheyesh matirin, but we know that a neder is, since you have a way to get out of making this wine assur, you have this wine that fell into your meat or your mixture, or you had a meat fell in. So be mater neder. Why should you get into the shaila of something not kosher mixed in? Just be mater neder. And we know the rule is that something that will become mutter eventually, we don't allow it even in any form of mixture. It's not batal even in a billion, because the way Rashi says it, why should you eat it be'issur? Just be mater neder, and now you don't have any shaila, right? So that's the Ran's. That's basically what that Ran starts with, and the Ran differentiates and says that if it's two of the same tam, then there we're going to say that it will be batal. If it's one tam with a different tam, then we're going to say even if you could eat it beheta, you don't have to eat it beheta, right? That's basically what the Ran says, and then the Ran also discusses. Does he discuss the chametz for Pesach? Right. So basically, yeah, okay. Right? I mean, davar sheyesh matirin. So the most common application is, why is chametz not batal even in 10,000? Right? But we all know you drop a crumb of chametz into your food, you can't eat it. Why? So some say because it's davar sheyesh matirin. Why eat the mixture on Pesach? Wait till the day after Pesach and eat it. Right? Somebody drops some food into your soup, your chametz into your soup. So why eat the chametz soup, the suffix chametz soup on Shabbos on a Pesach, just wait till after Pesach, and then it's mutter, freeze it and wait till after Pesach, right? Some say that's not Davar Sheyesh Matirin because it's not mutter forever, because that soup is going back to Isser next Pesach, right? So therefore, maybe that's not Davar Sheyesh Matirin. Okay, that's basically what the long run is about. Okay, on to my base, yeah. So that was the Gemara. So the Gemara asks, or I'll ask you a stira. This is coming up in tomorrow's daf Mina Doshim. If somebody makes a neder, he's not going to eat lentils, beans. Also, ba'ashishim, it's also with Artscroll Taich. This says honey fried beans. I don't know exactly where they got that. I mean, I guess that's what the Ran is saying, but honey fried.
They got it from the bodega down the street.
maybe, because the Ran doesn't say. I mean, the Rashi doesn't say. Rashi says it's mixed in with not cotton. What do you call it? Grain, flour, whatever. Anyway, so the kash is, it says min hadoshim. If you make a neder from hadoshim, right? So the same thing. We had the same question we had: chocolate, white chocolate, white wine, red wine. So if you make a neder against lentils, and then you have honey fried lentils, is that called lentil, or already loses its chashivas of lentil, right? So the Tanakama says you're not allowed to because that's included. But Rabbi Yossi matter, but Rabbi Yossi says it's mutter because he doesn't call honey fried lentils the same as regular lentils. So how come here in the Mishna he says that whey is the same thing? He says whey is assur. Right, it should be different. It's meaning it's a different name. So like Kash, we say Marki Asrei or Marki Asrei. No, that's Mar. One is talking about in the way his town called it, and one is going about his town. They called milk, and they called whey. They didn't mix the two. Basrei the Rabbi Yossi l'koyma nami karu l'koyma dechalba. What they wouldn't just call it whey, they would call it whey from milk. So since they included milk usually in that sentence, so therefore it's automatically included, right? So again, we get back to the same rule. It's all totally in what was the expected understanding of that word in that particular town, right? Tanya, then we get a freebie. It's basically a repeat of the Mishna of Tanya. Hanoidim and achala. Somebody makes another from milk. Mutter b'kaim is mutter with the whey. Min ha'kaim, mutter b'chalav. From kaim, it's mutter b'chalav. Min ha'chalav, mutter b'gvina. If you make a neder from milk, you're allowed to eat cheese. See, that's an interesting one too. Would the Olam agree with that? I don't know. If you ask me, again, Baruch Hashem, I love these Gemaras because I would answer this totally wrong. A guy tells me, I made a neder from milk. Can I eat a piece of cheese? I was like, milk is cheese, buddy. Right? I mean, or cheese is milk. I don't even know which way
Doesn't it depend who calls it what? Is Parrot still on?
Parrots,
No,
he's busy with his meat.
Okay, so I can't hear. Okay, fine.
Oh no, he's there.
Parrots, any of the guys that you buy the craft beer from, would they ever drink a can of Bud Light? No, they wouldn't. They would never look.
I can't speak for alcoholics, but no.
No, they wouldn't. It's the biggest selling beer in America. See, how come these guys would rather pour it out than drink it?
So you're saying it's not included?
So I don't know. I'm saying.
I hear.
There's a whole bunch of people who involved with craft beer because America's a big country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and so you're gonna have to figure out, like, okay, the real connoisseurs, right? Listen, no, from what I understand, any wine guy is not drinking white wine. That's why I understand it.
No,
right?
that's not. I'm sorry, that's
not
incorrect.
True?
Depends what for. Depends what
it's
for.
Incorrect.
Okay. Baruch Hashem, I don't know. Okay. But you have to figure it out. But bottom line is, if somebody asked me a shaila, if they made a neder from milk, can they eat cheese? I would tell them no. And the Gemara, they hear the Braysa saying, well, you can. That's not included in milk. Or Hashem, das Torah is lehefrum, das palabatim, givaldi. Right? Anyway, so min achala mutter begvina, min agvina mutter becholav, and from gvina it's mutter becholav. That one already I could understand. Right? Mina roitev, let's say you say you're not having gravy, mutter bekipa. You're allowed to have the shreds. Mina kipa, mutter beroitev. That you can hear too. If he says this basar is also to me, assur boy, if he says this particular meat is assur onto me, so it's just like tarfus. If something's treif, you can't eat the remnants of the treif and you can't eat the juice of the treif, so it became treif on him. Fine. If you just made a neder from yayin, then it's mutter b'tal sheyesh b'tam yayin. Omar konam yayin zeh she'ini to'am. But if he says this wine, and it falls into a cooked food, then it's going to depend. If you could taste the wine, areza assur. If you can't taste the wine, then it's not assur, right? Like any other assur, right? It's like any other assur. 405, 404. Okay, we could do a few more lines. Yes, look the Mishna.
If someone dilutes the wine, 1 in 7, before it falls into the tavshel.
I hear. I don't know. I hear. I'm not sure. I don't know. That gets into Ramesh's tshuva with whether yayin is butter one. That's a southern comfort.
Right.
Yeah. If it wasn't Friday, we'd have a good time with that too. Okay, Zok the Mishna. Yeah. So let's say make a neder from grapes. Okay, now you could hear. You make a neder from maybe not. I don't even know. Right? I mean, wine is made from grapes. Okay, so min anoidim and anoim mutter b'yayin, min azeisim mutter b'shemen. Mamash and Yonah Diyom. Amar kainam zeisim v'anobim, elu she'eni to'im, assur b'henu v'yotzim. Then it's assur on them and what's similar to them. Fine. So boy Rami Barcham, elu dafka, oy she'eni to'im dafka. When it says that it's assur, does it mean he has to say elu or that I'm not going to taste? Right? Meaning, when we're going to assur everything, it's meaning we said that in the last case in the Mishna, we said that if you say konam zeisim va'anav, you know what? It's too hard a sugya to start now. Okay, we'll have to do a Matzah Shabbos. Yeah, fine. All right.
Save my marriage.
There you go. Everybody should have themselves a fine Shabbos and a safe Shabbos. And what do you call it? Yeah. All right.
Didn't we have the same kasha in the Ksubis?
The what?
Not the same topic, but the which one's the ikr? Which part of the lashon is the ikr? The Gemara ended up saying both.
Okay, Motzei Shabbos. What time Motzei Shabbos?
6:15.
6:58.
6:15. 15.
Oh, 15. Okay, got it. 6:15. 16. Have a good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. What do you got, Yitzi Santeg? Or you just hung up? I thought he wanted to say something. Yeah.